This guy literally parachuted into a game. And what about that woman who crashed a Champions League final? These are some of the craziest pitch invasions in football history. Let's start with Kinsey Wolanski, who pulled off one of the boldest pitch invasions in recent times. During the 2019 Champions League final between Liverpool and Tottenham in Madrid, she stormed the field like this. The outfit she wore was promoting her boyfriend's website, and she made headlines all over the world. Kinsey got a €15,000 fine, but potentially brought in $18 million in exposure for the site. It was all masterminded by her boyfriend, Vitaly, who already had a history of pitch invasions, like at the 2014 World Cup final in Brazil and the 2016 NBA Finals. Since he was banned from stadiums, he found Kinsey and got her to do it for him. They tried to pull off the same stunt at the Copa America final 6 weeks later, but security caught on before they could make it. This little 7-year-old kid stole the hearts of an entire national team. During a game between Brazil and South Africa in 2014, the kid managed to slip past his parents and make his way onto the pitch. The only problem with this plan was that security caught him and, of course, started to take him off the field. But before they could return him to his parents, the Brazilian players noticed what was happening and decided to do this. I'm sure that was the best day of that kid's life. This guy literally parachuted into a game. Of course, it was by accident, right? Unlike this landing over here, which was totally planned. Now, that's a creative way to deliver the match ball to the field. Something similar happened at the Alliance Arena during the 2021 Euros. He almost crashed into a bunch of people in the media section of the stadium, but in the end, he managed to land, well, more like fall safely onto the pitch. This other woman not only managed to dodge security, who eventually gave up chasing her, but she also took off her shirt and tried to hug one of the players. Talk about wanting to marry a football player. This little dog stole the show. He ran onto the pitch and just snatched a player's boot. To top it all off, the dog was carried off the field like a star. When Brazil got knocked out by Croatia in the 2022 World Cup, a Croatian player's son tried to comfort Neymar, but security wouldn't let him until this happened. And if there's one thing Neymar sets an example in, it's how he treats his fans. Another time, a guy stormed PSG's training session and was being taken away by security, when Neymar showed just how humble he is. Another kid who managed to sneak past everyone just to hug a player was this one right here. Check out the amazing teamwork of these two guys. In 2009, they ran onto the pitch during a Manchester United match that was almost over. But the funniest part of it all was the crowd's reaction to the whole thing. Speaking of great goals, this fan showed he knows how to take a penalty. Look at his form. These fans ran onto the field and got arrested just to mess with Mbappe. In case you didn't know, his nickname is Ninja Turtle, for obvious reasons, right? And these three guys dressed up as the cartoon characters just to become a meme. I'm not sure if it was them, but Mbappe even got a mask as a gift. But nothing is more shocking than what this guy did. He's the owner of the club that was in the penalty shootout, and he literally stormed the field with a pistol in his pocket. After being escorted out, he was obviously arrested and got a 2-year sentence. Check out this coach who ran onto the pitch to punch a player. Of course, we're talking about Jose Mourinho.
What's that phrase? Win at all.
Look at his little smirk after the whole thing. This guy invaded the pitch just to insult Messi. I'm pretty sure he's a Cristiano Ronaldo fan. But of course, lots of fans run onto the field to show their love for the Argentinian, like this guy over here. Speaking of CR7, this fan ran onto the field and almost didn't get to take a photo with him, but in the end, it worked out. This amateur game had one of the funniest pitch invasions ever. These two guys put a motor on a wheelbarrow just to pretend it was an ambulance. And the best part is, the players went along with the joke. Now check out this fan who ran onto the pitch at the end of an important Premier League match. The security guard chased him down, but when he finally caught up, he realized this fan was actually Mendy, the City defender. Something similar happened to Cristiano Ronaldo when he stormed a Real Madrid game. And even worse, he was out of shape. This happened in 2014 during a friendly against Fiorentina after he had already been subbed off. It's normal for players to return a bit out of shape at the start of the season, but this Ronaldo looked like he gained 15 kilos. The situation got even funnier when Borja Valero from Fiorentina started laughing, and even the ref cracked a smile. Ronaldo went straight to the box during a corner kick, but there was one problem. The real CR7 was still on the bench. So, who was on the field? It was a fan dressed as Ronaldo who almost fooled everyone. Pulisic set an example for all players. A kid ran up to him and asked for his jersey before being taken off the field. And the player made it a point to leave everything behind, including the interview he was giving, just to pay attention to the kid. This invasion actually got the fan a house. He's a famous Ronaldinho lookalike in Brazil, and he decided to crash an Argentina training session. Messi, who is good friends with the real Ronaldinho, was so surprised that his reaction was hilarious. The video got so popular that with the money he made from the fame, he was able to buy a house. The entire crowd stormed the field after this amazing match in England. When Watford scored the goal that promoted them to the Premier League, everyone rushed onto the pitch to celebrate. The same thing happened in this game. After the goalkeeper saved the final penalty of the shootout, all the fans stormed the field to celebrate with the players. In Brazil, it happened too, but in a much scarier way. After one of the teams conceded a goal, the fans invaded the pitch to confront the players. The chaos was so intense that an order was given to evacuate the entire stadium.
Preservada tanto no Cuiabá quanto no Ceará. O episódio é lamentável e sempre.
Something similar happened in France when Saint-Étienne got relegated and furious fans stormed the field. What a terrifying scene. All the players had to run to the locker room to avoid being attacked. This match had to be stopped early. When a controversial penalty was called, the fans got so furious that total chaos broke out. For the safety of the players, they had to end the game. But in England, something completely different happened. After Manchester City won the title in the 2023 season, the entire crowd stormed the field, and the scenes were absolutely incredible. Even Guardiola got emotional. Speaking of scary invasions, this guy did something completely bizarre. He posted a video on social media saying he would chain his neck to one of the goalposts in the middle of a match. Obviously, he was planning to take his life in front of a packed stadium. Thankfully, security managed to prevent a tragedy. Now, this fan was simply brilliant. His team needed a goal in the final minutes of the match, and he had the bright idea to storm the field to try to score that goal. And the worst part? He actually did it. This goalkeeper sent a fan running. The guy who invaded the pitch was cheering for the rival team and just wanted to provoke. That's when the goalkeeper showed who's in charge. But in this case, it was the kid's mom who had to show who's in charge. No security had to try to stop the invasion since the mom ran after her son and pulled him off the field. This is one of the cutest invasions in history. A little dog ran onto the pitch and even made friends with one of the goalkeepers. Speaking of animal invasions, check out what happened at this team's training session. Yeah, that's a cow in the middle of the field. She was probably looking for a place to graze and ended up in the wrong field. No one in this game dribbled quite like this rooster. I don't even need to say that the crowd was laughing their heads off, watching the security try to catch the bird and fail miserably. After humiliating everyone, he decided it was time to leave the field for good. This little dog spent more than 7 minutes on the pitch. Bird got hit by the ball and became the security team's mascot. He could barely move after the hit, but the stadium staff took care of him. But the best invasion was definitely by this police dog, who saw the ball running and wanted to join in on the fun. Now, take a closer look at this fan who attracted a whole crowd of security. And the worst part is, he was leaving everyone behind. This is the most disgraceful scene in football. A fan stormed the field to try to attack a player. But the worst part? He had the audacity to get involved in that mess while holding his daughter. Another horrible scene like this happened in this game, where a fan managed to kick the goalkeeper. Fortunately, he wasn't seriously injured, but just imagine if that guy had something dangerous in his hands. Now, I'm sure you've seen a fan invade the field to confront the referee. He went straight for the ref. He definitely deserved a red card, right? This is the biggest collective chaos in football. At the end of the match, the referee blew the whistle for a penalty. But when the fans heard the whistle, they thought the game was over and just stormed the field to celebrate. This fan just wanted to mess around and ended up in trouble. He ran onto the pitch, teased the security guards, flashed a smile at the camera, and even dove into the goal. At least he had a good time, right? The crowd took care of this invader. Yeah, that's a drone that someone had the bright idea to fly onto the pitch. But before it could escape, someone in the crowd hit it perfectly, and the drone came crashing down. I don't even want to think how much money the owner lost on that toy. Speaking of drone invasions, this one brought the ghost of relegation to taunt the rival team. Genius. This little dog thought the football field was a perfect place for a stroll. This team decided to run onto the field in a car. The vehicle was from a sponsor, but no one expected them to invade the pitch in it. Speaking of strange objects, this game had a massive invasion of tennis balls. That's right, the fans brought a bunch of tennis balls and started throwing them onto the field. All this fan wanted was a hug from Cristiano Ronaldo, and he got it. Before running off, he even knelt down and kissed the feet of one of the greatest in history. During a Paris Saint-Germain match, this little boy ran onto the field to get an autograph from Mbappe, and the Frenchman showed why he's so loved by fans. He was so sweet to the boy that the video went viral worldwide.
And maybe a little bit of business to take care of before he exits the stadium. And it is Mbappe's own book. And you know what? There might be
I want to sound heartless now, Phil, but
you cranky old man.
I have to be consistent with
This Ajax game turned into a tragedy. First, because fans threw smoke grenades onto the field, which would definitely stop the match from happening. And to top it all off, a masked person stormed the field holding a banner with a phrase in Dutch that I think it's better we don't look up the meaning of. A real battle of fans broke out in Turkey. Some fans stormed the pitch to celebrate with the players, but the rival supporters also entered the field, and they started a brawl inside the stadium. This game in Portugal had it all. A total of 6 fans invaded the field, and while trying to take one of them down, a security guard ended up knocking over Gonçalo Ramos. In the last Champions League final between Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund, a fan invaded the field and really gave the security a run for their money. This prank channel tried to pull off something epic and ended up failing. They planned to stage 3 invasions during a Tottenham game, but what was supposed to be funny turned bizarre. The players from the English team got angry and tried to forcefully grab the invaders. Of course, they all ended up banned from the stadiums in England. This guy stormed the field with a Palestinian flag, and the security had their hands full trying to catch him. But when they finally did, the whole stadium erupted in cheers. A crit of anger for CR7. Click on the video appearing on your screen right now to see the biggest moments of rage from Cristiano Ronaldo.